Applications team. Today we are going to show you how to properly gap your retaining finger on your EMT16X. You might be asking yourself, Josh, I don't know what a retaining finger is and I don't know how to gap it. Well, that's what we're here to do today. We'll only need a couple tools, and these are provided in your ops kit that you should have received with your machine. We have a finger gap tool. This thing, you probably have seen that floating around in there, and maybe you have no idea what it is for. And we're also going to need our 1.5 Allen. This is also in your ops kit, so you should have both of these items. This is all we need to get rolling. So, couple reasons that you may need to check your retaining finger gap. All right, I do this every couple weeks. I just check mine on my machine just because I like to keep up on things. Say you were running a design and you sucked something into the rotary hook and you couldn't get it out or something like that, so you moved your retaining finger so you could get it out, and now your rotary hook's just spinning around all willy-nilly. That could be a reason. You're getting poor sew-outs, you know. If this is gapped in too far or too far in or too far out, it can cause a lot of issues for you. We need a nice clean path for that bobbin to go through so you get nice tie-ins and tie-offs. So this is something that doesn't take much time. It's really easy to do. And I actually have to check mine because I ate a beanie in mine last week. I know, we're the pros here, but we still make mistakes. So we're going to check my retaining finger gap on there, just make sure everything is kosher. And yeah, we'll cut right to it. I'm going to swap cameras and we'll go over to the machine and get this rolling. Alright guys, hopefully this stays focused. Couple ways to do this. Here, I'm going to show you guys the way that I do it. I am going to first get this thread out of our way. I'm going to take off my bottom plastic cover. You don't have to do this. I just prefer kind of everything out of my way. And we are going to remove our bobbin case. And I like to remove my needle plate up top. Plus, I want to show you guys how to properly get that going. So, let me grab the Allen wrenches here. We'll take off that needle plate. I'm trying to do this while reaching around the camera to keep everybody able to see. So, we got the 2 screws on each side to get off our needle plate here. I'm going to pull these out. Make sure you don't drop your washers on there. Set those down. And we're going to pull off our needle plate here so I can give you guys a good view. So, as you can see, right up top here, I'm going to try to move the camera. I can get a good picture of it. This right up top here is our retaining finger. You can see right in the back, let me get this light there. Right here is our retaining finger gap, right on a rotary hook. And then we have our retaining finger that clips, or it's mounted right here. So, we need to gap this out. I can already see that mine is super loose. Like I said, I sucked the beanie in my machine doing the video last week, and I need to gap it. So, let's take our 1.5 Allen. Yours is probably going to be bigger than mine. I have a short one in my tech kit. And we're going to loosen up these 2 button head bolts right here. So, you see how my rotary hook is spinning free right now? This might be one of the scenarios that you guys have ran into. So, I see this quite often, you know, you don't think about it and you move that piece and there we go. So, what we want to do now is that gap where this retaining finger meets our bobbin or our rotary hook right here, we need to gap this distance right here. So we're going to take our gap tool, and I prefer to come in through on the tops on these machines when I'm gapping mine. So we're just going to slide our gapping tool in there, and you want to just lightly push up against it. So when we tighten this up, we don't have we don't want that scraping in there. What can happen is you can get on some of that polished metal there. And remember I was saying we want a nice clean thread path. See how it's just gently touching and it's not giving me any resistance. That is perfectly gapped there. Let me see if I can't get a good picture up top here for you. I apologize on the shaky camera skills going on here. But you can see that gap there now. That's exactly what we are looking for. Now I'm just going to tighten up the other button head screw over here. Get that tightened. Get this one tightened. And let's check our gap one more time here. And that is a perfect gap there. You can see it's just going, let me get my fingers out of the way. But we are sliding in and out and no friction there. So that is great. Now to button this up real quick, I'm going to put my needle plate back on. Now you can see on the back here we have this actuator. This is for your trimmer. And if you look on the back of your trimmer, you have this hole right here. So make sure you slide this all the way back. And when we put this on, we need to line up that hole into that actuator. Put that on there. And then we're going to put in our 2 bolts again. Now you don't want to tighten these all the way up, because anytime that you take off this needle plate, what you need to do is you need to realign your needle in your needle plate. As you can see, there's some wiggle room in here. So if my needle is coming down center and I have this needle plate pushed all the way to the left there, my holes aren't going to line up. I'm going to get thread breaks. I'm going to break needles. So from there, I'm just going to hit the E-stop button. I'm going to reach underneath my machine, grab my Z-shaft, and now I'm just looking to line up that needle hole right in the center of that needle. Tighten that up. Release my E-stop. My needle will go back up. And from there, we'll put our bobbin back in. I'm going to put my bottom cover back on. And you guys have successfully gapped your retaining finger. This same kind of concept applies on the EMT 16 pluses. It's a little bit different. I will link down below, but same concept with the retaining finger gap tool right here. So not too hard to do. So I hope that helps you guys out. And any questions or comments, comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer anything that you have. Otherwise, you guys can always email over at applications@melco.com, and we'll answer your questions there. So until next week, happy embroidering.